Hello everyone, welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Millo. Millo is from England in the UK. So let's see what Millo has to say. Enjoy the interview. So hello Millo, how are you?
Hello, mate. I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well. Thanks so much for taking the time today for the interview. Thank you.
Very welcome. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
So tell me, how was your day today?
Yeah, it's been okay. Been quite busy, just making a lot of music and doing a lot of content and stuff to promote it. But yeah, it's been all right. It's been good.
Amazing. So tell me, where are you from?
So I'm from Somerset in the UK. So it's like the southwest of the UK. Grew up there my whole life, lived there my whole life, was born there. Yeah, I've been there pretty much the whole time. So
So tell me, what's the best part of living Somerset?
leaving Somerset.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. Oh, living in Somerset, right? I see. The countryside, probably. Yeah, it's quite a pretty countryside. Like a lot of it is quite. There's not a lot of cities there. Like the biggest place there is quite small, so a lot of it is a lot of countryside. But yeah, I'd say that's probably the best bit.
And how far are you from London?
Ooh, good 3 hours, I think. Yeah, 2 or 3 hours. It's not an easy journey.
And all your friends live there as well?
Yeah, everyone I know is pretty much around here. I know a few people down in London, but yeah, for the most part, most people are from my area pretty much that I know.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, Millo, so I know you are a singer, you are an artist. So
Yes.
walk me through a little bit more about your career, how everything started.
So I started about I think I'd say about 4 years ago now. I bet I've always been into music. I've always known that I'm quite good at writing. Like I'm quite good at English. I've just been, and then one time I was just at a festival. I used to love going to festivals. I watched Post Malone live. He's pretty much one of my favorite artists. I watched him live at a Reading festival once, saw him on stage and saw what he was doing to the crowd and how they reacted to him and stuff. And I was like, that's me. That's me. And then since that moment, I've just kind of started releasing music. I did it on SoundCloud to begin with, just started releasing on everything. And then, yeah, the rest is history, basically. Been on and up the whole time. Yeah, it's good.
Amazing. And do you sing or do you practice your music every day, or just certain time a week?
Yeah, no, I try my best to do sort of every day. Like I'll have a schedule where I kind of plan to record. Then I'll have a little session of writing. I do like an hour of each. But because I do a bit of TikTok as well. I do a bit of Twitch streaming. So I try and balance it a bit. But music is my main sort of. Yeah, I'd say I probably do it every day. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, Millo, so during the journey, I'm going to explore a little bit more about your music as well, okay?
Okay, cool.
So before we start our journey within the Magic Box, would you like to tell me something interesting about yourself or something that not many people know about you?
Ooh, okay. I talk a lot.
Okay.
That's something that gets pointed out. I can't stop talking once I talk. I guess that's one thing. Yeah, like a lot of people have said to me that I'm quite just. If I just start talking, I do not shut up. Basically, I do not stop. But that's not really something that people. Yeah, people. I guess that's not something that people don't know. But it's like I guess that's something that's quite, interesting about me. I suppose that I'm a talker. Like if someone brings up a topic, I'll just chat to people about it for a very long time. I guess that comes with this whole musician thing, doesn't it? I guess outspoken. I like writing things. I like recording. So I guess talking comes into that as well, I suppose. But
amazing. Millo, are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and share your point of views?
Yes, of course. I'm excited. Let's go.
Amazing. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So I've got here my best friend. Okay. Okay, full of random fun questions. Yeah. I'm just gonna play a song now just for us to relax a bit before the first question, okay?
Okay, cool. Sounds good.
Let's do it. Right, so before we start the game, during the journey, if it comes up a question that you don't want to talk about, some reason you don't want to answer, always can change, okay?
Yeah, okay, sounds good.
Right, First question for you is, what's your idea of a perfect day?
Perfect day.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, get up in the morning. Oh, someone just walked from my door. Sorry about that. Get up in the morning, have a little gym session, I suppose, for maybe an hour or two.
Uh-huh.
Go out for lunch somewhere nice. Ooh, I like walks as well. So I reckon after have a bit of lunch, go for a little walk somewhere. Go to the beach. I reckon in the afternoon if it's a nice day. Go. I don't know. This is good. This is a good question, but I'm trying to think like what would be like the ideal thing. But yeah,
Are you very
do that for
close
a
to the
bit.
beach?
No, I'm not. I'd say I'm about half an hour away, so I'm fairly close. But it's like, that's what I like about like where I'm placed. It's like perfectly in the middle of where like beaches are, so we can just like sort of travel to any of them. But what do I do after that? Probably go out for again, have a nice dinner somewhere. I love things like barbecue chicken, like grill houses are like the best thing to me. But do that. Then I reckon the end of the day would sort of end as like going to a gig. Obviously, as a musician, it's the perfect thing for me. Go to a gig, have a couple drinks, sort of thing. But yeah, something like that probably.
Do you consider yourself to be more of a day or a night person?
Probably a night person, I'd say. Yeah, I do like a sort. I like a sort of night social when it's around like a lot of people. But I probably a mixed bag. I enjoy both, I suppose. Yeah,
Yes.
but if I was to swing towards one, it'd probably be night.
Amazing. Good. Next question. Let's do it.
Cool.
Right. Next question is, how would you describe a perfect, healthy relationship?
Healthy relationship. Okay. Well, I'm in one, which is good. So, I'd say like the perfect healthy relationship is kind of like understand each other as much as you can, because obviously every relationship goes through tough situations. You've got to learn to understand each other. Communication, 100% is a big thing. I think without communication, there's no point. And respecting each other's boundaries as well. I think if that person enjoys something, you need to kind of let them do it, if you know what I mean. Obviously, as long as it's not detrimental to the relationship. But I think those are probably the main three things. I'm in a relationship right now that is pretty much that. It's perfect for that sort of thing. So that's why it's so easy for me to sort of explain it. But yeah.
And how long you've been in a relationship right now?
Oh, probably just over 2 years. So about 2 years, 2 months, sort of. Yeah. So the flat I'm in now is I'm living with my girlfriend at the moment.
I see. And how did your path crossed?
Oh, I think I messaged her. Yeah, I think I came across her on Instagram and I just thought she was stunning. So I was like, I shot my shot, and yeah, the rest is history, I suppose.
Tell me, what's the biggest difference between both of you? Yeah, and the biggest similarity.
Okay. The biggest difference is probably our taste in music.
Okay.
You'll get a lot of answers that are very music related, but I've noticed our music tastes are quite different. But then she also enjoys my music, the music I make. So it's like, I guess that's the main thing for me. That's good. The biggest similarity, I think we're both quite energetic, match each other's energy massively. I think that's one thing we definitely share. We're both very sort of when we become hyperactive, we're both quite hyperactive, I suppose. But I think that's a good thing, though. I love the fact that we have that. So, yeah.
Amazing. Next question. Let's do it. Right. So before the next question, Millo, tell me how music came into your life. You mentioned about the concert you went, but tell me how like the things got together.
What, like as I started making music, or?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, when I decided that I wanted to make music, I just sort of, for a while, I just did it sort of under the radar. I kind of, all I had was my phone, and I'd find sort of beats, or I'd make them on GarageBand sort of thing. They were never great, but I practiced like that. I wrote things, and I started to realize I was like, oh, actually, I'm quite good at this. So I kept on doing it. But again, I was too anxious to begin with to show for a long time. I'd say probably about 3 or 4 months I didn't say anything, but then I was just like, you know what, I think it's time people find out, because it's what I want to do in life. I know this is my path now, so I decided to just sort of tell everyone. But yeah, not long after that concert, funnily enough, it probably took me a month or so to start creating music, start writing it, start releasing it on SoundCloud. And then as soon as I showed the world, I was just like, right, this is it, I suppose. And then it just got better and better since then. So that was the best thing I ever did.
Nice. All right. Next question for you is, what is the funniest or the strangest gift have you ever received?
I don't know, actually. Oh, yeah. No, I've got an answer. So my brother is a bit of a prankster. He does this a lot over Christmas and birthdays. So my birthday had just gone. It's probably about a month ago now. He always does this thing where he gets a box, as in it will be like an iron. So like I'm trying to think, like a microwave box, like, you know, the packaging it comes in.
Yeah.
And he will just fill it with so much. Tea bags was one thing, which was just weird. I think one of them was like a can of peas. He's a bit odd. Loads of other things, like a DVD that's about 12 years old. Just loads of other stuff, but that's very recent. So that's the only thing I can think of on the top of my head. He does it to everyone. He's done it to me. He's done it to my other siblings. He's done it to my mum. Yeah, he's a prankster, so he likes doing stuff like that. But yeah, it's probably that.
Which person in your family you are more close to?
What, just any part of my family?
Yeah, which person you feel more connected or more close to?
I think I'm quite close to all of my family, I suppose. Like, I'm very close with my brothers and my sister. Very close to my mum and my stepdad and my dad as well. But yeah, I wouldn't say I was close to one or the other. I'm pretty close with all my family. I'm quite blessed in that sense that I've got a good relationship with everyone in my family. It's a big, it's a big part of my life as well. I've got nieces and nephews as well. So yeah, family's a massive thing to me. Yeah.
And when you start with your music, did you have their support?
Yes. So I'll say yes and no, because I think it was a bit like, I'm glad you're doing this, Ollie, but you need to be realistic, sort of thing. I think some people have those old school views where, you need to have a job, otherwise you won't be able to pay your way. And I'm like, yeah, I completely agree with that. But I think they were happy that I had something to sort of put my all into. But they definitely believe in me more now. I think the more they've seen me grow as a musician, they are starting to think, okay, he's doing well with himself now. Like, they've always had support, but they've also been sort of like mature and realistic about it, which I completely respect as well. I'm kind of glad that they had sort of both sides of it. So yeah, definitely.
Amazing. Ready for another one?
Yeah, of course. Let's go.
Let's do it. Next question. Hey, Millo from England. Next question is, what will be the title of your memoir?
Ooh. Okay. I've got a good one, because it was going to be the name of my very first album. I was going to release an album when I first made music, but I didn't end up doing it. But A Grand Awakening.
Wow. Tell me why.
Yeah. Because my sort of ethos as a musician was sort of like, the reason I started doing it as well was because I've always believed that you should never be held back from what you truly want to do in life. And it's like having an awakening, like a grand awakening, like your brain going, this is what you want to do. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Don't let anything stop you, sort of thing. So that was meant to be the name of an album that I was meant to release back when I started music, but I never did. But probably that, actually. Something like that.
And when you think about yourself, Millo, when you analyze yourself, what's the best part of being you? What do you like the most about being yourself?
That's a very good question. Probably just my ability to write, I suppose. Like, I know that sounds like a bit of a flex. Like, I'm really good at writing, but I think once I started creating and writing music, it made me realize, like, whoa, I'm good at like wordplay.
I see.
Yeah, good with creating music, I suppose. But yeah, I guess one thing that even other people are shocked about, like when they hear some of my music, they'll hear some of the wordplay and some of the lyrics, and they'll be quite shocked by it. And I love that as well. I love like people's reactions. They're like, I didn't know you had that in you, but I guess it's probably that. Yeah.
And for you to write your music,
for example, you need to be in a mood, or you can write anytime, or do you need your space? How it works for you?
So I personally need to be in the right mood for it. Like, I know a lot of people that can, if they're feeling down, they can sort of put their feelings onto paper. I struggle with that sometimes. I think that's something you learn over time, but I need to be in sort of like a positive mentality when I'm in the sort of in the creative space. But yeah, I need to be in a room like I am now, dead silence, sort of let it flow, and sort of like, or obviously if I'm like doing it over a beat, let's say, I'll listen to the beat and I'll just sort of like not freestyle, but do like a few things and then write it down and go over it again, sort of thing. But yeah, I need to be away from anyone. Like, I need my own space or something. But if I'm in a bad mood or if I'm feeling sad or down, I struggle. I struggle to write, to be honest. But yeah.
Okay. Next question. Right. Next question is,
Let's go.
Is there a dream you always had?
Well, before wanting to do music, I always wanted to be a footballer, if I'm honest. Yeah. I've grew up, you know, my family have always loved football, and obviously because of that, I've always loved football as well. For years and years, since I was probably a good 5 or 6, I've always wanted to play football and be a footballer, but then I realized I wasn't good enough. So I suppose, yeah, that was probably the first dream I could think of wanting to do. But obviously since like a few years back, my dream now is 100% to be successful with the music. Like, it's always getting better, but I want to be at a point where I'm stable enough to live off doing it, and I want to retire my family, and I want to take them on holiday, all that sort of thing, and I want to perform in front of massive crowds and sort of thing. Yeah, there's a lot of things that go through my head, sort of thing. But yeah, that's my dream now. But yeah, it's a bit different from football, but
No, it's great. It's great when you have those dreams, because at the end of the day, as you said, you just want to, express yourself. You want to be happy. At the same time as well, you want to help your family. You want to
yeah,
give
exactly.
the best to your family.
Yeah.
And I think all of them comes together. I think dreaming, it's beautiful. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Because it's such a great feeling that's push you to go after your dreams and after your goals. And I think
100%.
all of us, you should have all this mindset. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter what you want to achieve. It doesn't matter what you want to do. I just like this feeling of achieving something and dreaming. I think it's great. You should dream all the time.
I agree. I completely agree. I think having something to look forward to and having something to believe in for the future, no matter what level you're in, the best footballers, the best musicians, even they should have goals to strive to. Otherwise, it disappears. Otherwise, doesn't it? But yeah, I completely agree with that.
And how do you feel about being a musician in Somerset? Do you think that the industry there, of course, London, is the place of a lot of things happening, but in Somerset, do you find easy? Do you find quite difficult? Or tell me a little bit about it.
I think in terms of opportunities in a personal sense, like in person, I think it's a bit of a struggle, just because, again, there's not a lot here in terms of, obviously, cities wise. There's not the closest to us is Exeter and Bristol, and that's technically not even in Somerset. So in terms of physically, not a huge amount, but with the internet and with sort of social media, I think it's, if anything, the best opportunity for musicians to grow. So most of my things in terms of music are online, and it's streaming and promoting it on TikTok, on Instagram, all of that things. I think that's my main, because if I didn't have that, I think I'd struggle with opportunities. I'd probably have to move. But with the power of social media these days, I think it's so much easier to do, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's the good side of social media. You can do whatever. As I am right now, I'm literally in Brazil right now.
Exactly.
And, I can do that through social media and through Zoom. I think that's the good part of social media, where you can connect easily. You don't need to be in the big places. You don't need to be in the main big cities. You also can do your thing through the place where you are, for sure.
Yeah, 100%. I agree.
3 questions left. Let's do it.
Okay, cool. No, I'm enjoying this. It's good, though. I love it.
Right. So before the next question, of course, there is, when I was checking your profile, there is a music, Don't Mind Me. It's out now. It's your latest music, I believe.
Yes, it is. Yes, my latest song.
So tell me a little bit about it. When the idea of writing this music came along, or tell me how was born this music.
So this actually is, funnily enough, quite old, as in like, I wrote it probably about 2 years ago, but I originally had a producer who sort of made me a beat and I kind of wrote over it, but I didn't end up using the beat. So the lyrics have been there for like a long time. But I went back to it and I was like, "Ooh, I need to reuse that." But I remember where it came from. Basically, again, like my ethos as a musician is a thing. Like obviously the lyrics are "Don't mind me, just do my thing." That's the whole point of it. It's like it's basically telling people, forget what people think of you, forget their opinions of you, go and do your thing. Like, and that was how I was born. I thought of that idea, thinking, that's what I'm like as a musician. So I want that to project onto a song. So I just started writing that and started thinking of what I'm sort of trying to achieve in life, and I put it into a song basically. And then because that was 2 years ago, I then brought it back this year, put it onto another beat, and then it's done brilliant. So it's good that I kept that in the vault sort of thing. But yeah, it's now come to fruition and it's one of my favorite songs. So,
and people listen to this music. What's the message that would you like people to take with them when they listen to Don't Mind Me?
So again, to encourage to do what you want to do in life. Like, don't be stuck in a job you don't enjoy. Don't be stuck doing something you don't like. Work for yourself. You don't have to work for someone else your whole life. If you want to do something, you have a passion and you feel like you can turn that into career, do it. That is the message. Do it. Forget what people think of you. For opinions, it's your life. Life's too short. Go and do what you deserve to do. If it's your calling and you think it's your calling, do it. That is pretty much the message. Yeah, simple message, but it works.
Simple but powerful.
Exactly. Absolutely.
Next question is, what makes you really angry?
Ooh. What makes me angry? Quite a few things, to be honest. Probably people. I wouldn't say it was anger, but I question it, and it does make me think how people think about things. But when people hate on other people, so going back to this whole thing, like not listening to people, it's on the other side of that, the people that try and project their hate on you for no reason. Like if they don't like your music, if you're using that as an example, it's like they just don't need to. But I find it odd because I don't feel compelled to hate on someone else or comment on someone's video going, well, this is not good, or this, that, the other, or say something that's judgmental. I'd never do that myself. So then trying to think why other people would do that, it makes me think, it confuses me. I guess sometimes it has made me a bit, it does anger me sometimes, I suppose.
And how do you deal with that when people, they make, those anger comments, when people somehow find a way to attack, yourself? How do you deal with that? How do you manage?
So they say, I've got this from a lot of musicians on TikTok. They just say the best way to respond to a comment is to not respond to a comment, because at the end of the day, if you're not responding to it, they're projecting at nothing. They're shouting at nothing. Or kill them with kindness is the main thing. I think if you comment back something that's positive, they can either not respond and be a bit confused, or they'll go, oh, you're actually really nice. Sorry, I didn't mean to be hateful. I'm just having a bad day. Because you never know what they're going through. They could just be projecting their hate on you because they're not in a good mental spot right there. So sometimes it's that. And then sometimes if you take the time to sort of like, I'm sorry that you don't like my music, blah, blah, blah. But sometimes that can change. Like I've had it before where I've responded to a hate comment by saying something nice, and they are now fans of me. Even to this day, they are now people that listen to my music all the time. So you can turn haters into listeners, or fans. So it's always possible.
I love that. I really like that, actually. Yeah. And what I believe is sometimes I think there are two people that they admire us. Yeah. Some people, they admire us and they go like, you know what? I like what you do. I love your job. I connect with you. I admire that. But at the same time as well, the other side, that's the one that admire you somehow, but they don't know how to connect with you. So what they do, they attack sometimes. So
Yeah.
that's what I say. At the end of the day, they admire you as well. It's just something about them that they don't know how to deal with. So what they do, they attack. But I think at the end of the day, if they admire us, that's how I see it as well.
Yeah, I think, and if they do admire you and they're in a, like I said, if they're in a bad headspace or they're just not mentally feeling good in that moment, they can just attack and they can just go at you like that. But like I said, you can change that. If you comment back to them, say something good or say something positive, they sometimes respond positively because you're enlightening them by if you're putting them out of the bad mood sometimes. I've had that a few times. So yeah.
Cool. 2 questions left. Let's do it. Right, so before the next question, I could see you have some tattoos on your arm. So tell me, which one is the very first one you ever had?
Yep.
The second part of the question is, which one is the latest one? And the third one is, which one is the most meaningful one?
Okay. Yep, I like that. Good question. So my first one is all of this rubbish. So that one was my first one, but then I sort of like connected them all together. But there's absolutely no meaning behind that one. I just wanted a tattoo at a young age, and I was like, right, I'm getting it. And then I sort of built around it. It looks a bit better now, but yeah, the ones on that arm I don't like that much. But my most recent one is, if you could see them, it's these two.
Okay.
So they do have a bit of meaning. So this one is because it's like obviously it's half a brain, and then it's got that's just the whole creative brain. Obviously, I consider myself a creative brain, so that's basically because of that. And that, if you can see that, sorry, it's a bit hard to see, but that's the chemical symbol for serotonin. It's obviously like be about being happy, and it's got obviously like mountains and stuff about feeling good and stuff. But yeah, those two, and like my most recent tattoos do actually have a minimal meaning, but some meaning to it, unlike some of these. But yeah, that's why I prefer this arm, because it's actually tattoos that do have a bit of meaning to me.
And are you planning for the next one?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Plenty of space. So yeah, no, there's I've still got a few gaps. You know, I've got one on my leg as well. I've got one on each arm there. Yeah, always looking for more. 100%.
All right. Next question is, if you won the lottery, what would be your first big splurge?
Ooh, I've had this question today already, actually, on a TikTok live, weirdly. I don't know. Probably treating my family to a holiday. Yeah, I think the first thing I'll do is like, right, guys, book off work. We're going on holiday. We're going to the Bahamas or something. I don't know. Yeah, that'd be my first thing. Probably taking my family, my girlfriend. Just yeah, I'd want to treat them for everything they've done for me. Basically, that would be my first thing, without a doubt. And then from there, God, I don't know what I'd do with that amount of money. Probably I'd invest a lot of it, obviously, to make more. I'd give a lot of it to charity as well. And then a big part of it, probably invest in my music as well, invest in my music career, upgrade my equipment, just help it grow, I suppose. Yeah, I think that would probably be the last thing I'd do out of the things I've said.
Millo, as I can see, you know how much you appreciate your family, how close you are to them. Yes. Let's sit down. They're watching this interview right now, yeah? And you have the moment now, you have a chance. Send them a message or say something to them right now. What would you say?
Family, thank you for everything you've ever done for me. If it wasn't for your support and everything you've done around me, I would not be here today. All the support, not even just in a music sense, just in an emotional sense as well. Like, without my family, you know, I'd struggle a lot, especially my girlfriend as well. She understands me to a T. So I'm very thankful for her in my life, because, you know, I've had, especially with the music, I've had very low moments where I've almost given up, because there are some parts of it that are just mega stressful. But yeah, if it wasn't for the people around me, I would not still be doing this. So that's probably the main thing. But yeah, that'd be the message I say.
Oh, sweet. Very sweet. Ready for the next one?
Yes, let's go.
Let's do it. Last question. But before the last question, you know, what's the biggest joy of singing? Tell me, when you are doing your job, when you are express yourself through music, tell me what's the feeling? What do you like the most about it? And the flip side, what do you find most challenging about the business?
So the best thing about it is 100% how I make other people feel, without a doubt. I think sometimes where I've had messages, people telling me the impact your music has had on my life. Honestly, that is part of the reason why I started music. The impact I have on people's lives. It's the best feeling. Someone telling me that song helped me in a low moment. I was like, it's got to points where I've like got really like not upset about it, but it's like brought a tear to my eyes. I'm like, I can't believe I've had this impact on people. The worst thing about it, probably just the stress when you don't succeed. Like if a song that you thought was the best thing you've ever done doesn't do well, and it doesn't get the reception you expect or want it to get, it does get you down. Like the thing is, in the music business, like nobody tells you this, but the mental health issues it can cause you it can be bad sometimes. But yeah, that's probably the worst thing.
I think you are very lucky to have a supportive family and girlfriend as well, because as you mentioned about, sometimes it can, you find those times when you are really down because of the business. It can go, I think any business can bring you down. But however, if you have like a great support family around you, it grounds you somehow and takes you to a great place.
Especially living with my girlfriend as well. Like if I'm in here recording and then I'm just not doing well, I can just go see her and she'll comfort me like that. Again, when I lived at home as well, I lived at my old house with my mum. The support that I'd get from them as well, it's the same. It's always the same. I think it's such a massive part of having good mental health, especially when doing something like making music. It's having that support behind you and having the right people. It's not even just like the emotional support, but for them to actually just be real with you as well. Sort of like if something's not right, they'll be like, right, come on, sort yourself out a bit. They sometimes can be brutal about it, but in a good way. Like sometimes you need that sort of brutality to sort of understand that it's not as bad as you think sometimes, sort of thing. But
good. Right. Last question for you is, what makes you most uncomfortable about yourself?
Uncomfortable
about yourself?
Ooh, I'd say I'm quite jumpy. As in, if I was to have be in a like going back to me being a bit talkative, I've got this thing where I tend to like talk over people, but I don't mean to, because I've got that sort of brain that if I've got something on my brain, I have to say it in the moment, and I sometimes struggle to sort of not hold a conversation, but I do tend to interrupt a lot, and I'm terrible for it sometimes. And I'm trying my best to not be like that, but that's the first thing that comes to mind. I'm not sure if that's a very good answer, but
no,
yeah,
they're not right or wrong. It's just what comes to your mind.
But it does bother me like a lot when, because I can have conversations with people and I'll be like, oh yeah, so, and I'm like, oh, probably shouldn't have jumped too quick, but yeah.
It's about being overexcited. I understand you. Sometimes you're so overexcited when express yourself. Sometimes you don't let people, to talk, but it comes from a good place.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I try telling people. I do. I tell them I'm not trying to be rude. I promise it's not a rude thing. So.
Right, so then let's play now the word association game, okay? I'm going to give away some words. Just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking, okay?
Okay.
Let's start with family.
Love.
Money.
I'm struggling with this one for some reason. Success.
Okay. Life.
Amazing.
Love.
Family.
I didn't say that.
That's a bit of a cop out, but
one word for sex.
Great.
Okay. Politics.
Boring.
Religion.
Interesting.
Fear.
Nightmares.
Say again?
Nightmares. Sorry.
Okay.
That's not great. That's the first thing I thought of, though. So.
It's all right. Friendship.
Important.
Desire.
Ooh. Nothing's coming to my head for some reason. Desire.
Yeah.
I was going to say success again, but I've already said that, haven't I? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, gonna have to
No
say it
problem.
again. Sorry, that's the first thing I thought of, but that's why I didn't say it because I've already said it. So, but yeah, we'll go with that.
Regret.
Past relationships. I know that's two
Okay.
words, but
Okay. Success.
God, of course. Progression.
Wish.
Wish.
Yeah.
Good health.
Happiness.
Family. Again.
Okay.
Yeah.
One word for Somerset.
Countryside. It's hard.
One word for
Some of them are hard.
one word for England.
Unbearable.
One word for music.
Passion.
And the last one now, your latest song, Don't Mind Me. One word.
Vibey.
Say again?
Vibey.
Five. Okay.
Yeah, vibey.
Let's pretend I'm going to meet your girlfriend for a coffee and I'm going to ask her. Define Millo in one positive word and one negative word only. What she would say?
What she would say, right? She'd probably begin with, he's very talented. Again, this is not me tooting my own horn, but she knows, and every time I show her a song, she loves it. Like, she believes in me a lot, so she would say, yeah, he's gonna do well, especially with the music. He's gonna do well. She'll say I'm supportive because I think that's what we are, and our relationship, we're very supportive of each other. We've helped each other grow massively. Negative, she'll definitely say, and I know for a fact she will say, I beat myself up too much. Like, yeah, I beat myself up too much. Again, especially with the music, I'm always downplaying my ability to do something. If I don't do well with something, or I make a song and then I hear it and I'm like, I don't like that, I'll just go into meltdown mode, and she will then have to sort of put me in my place and say, Ollie, you're incredible at this. Stop. Ollie is my real name, by the way. Millo is my stage name. If I keep saying that.
Okay. Millo, and what do you do when you find yourself in this, let's say, mindsets, when you are, put yourself, like beating yourself for this reason? How do you find yourself to get yourself back together again?
I just have to take myself away from the situation. So if I'm making music, if I'm writing something or recording and it doesn't go well, I kind of just have to walk away from it, for whether that's for 10 minutes, half an hour, until I'm relaxed again. Or sometimes even if it's like during the night or I'm doing it at some time, I'll have to leave it for the night. Because sometimes you just have to sleep it off and then you wake up then like, oh, okay, maybe I'm not so bad, sort of thing. But yeah, the best thing I do is I just walk away from it, and I tend to just sort of procrastinate. So whether that's going on a game or, listening to a podcast, listening to some music, I'll have to just, I step away from it, basically. It's simple as that sometimes.
I think sometimes we need to remind ourselves that sometimes we are doing well and you don't see that, And I think you should go, you know what, you're doing well. Sometimes we need to remind 100%. Ourselves that, because I understand sometimes when you are creative, you just want to give the best. You want to, the perfection is there, but there's no perfection. There's always up and downs, and we need to understand and remind ourselves that we are doing well. You just need time and understand that.
Yeah, you set high standards for yourself when you are a creative. You can't help but be a perfectionist. Everything has to be perfect, otherwise it's not going to compare to other things. But then when you actually deep it and when you think about it, you realize actually what you do isn't that bad. Like, and the level you're at as well. It's like, you're not going to be perfect, are you? And like, by doing it more, you're going to get better. I have to try and remind myself of that all the time.
we need to keep going, keep being hard, and always remember whatever is meant to be for you, it will be for you. It will come somehow. It will find a way to get to you. Just keep going, keep pushing ourselves, and it's gonna come. One point it will come, and things gonna be the best.
Yeah, definitely.
Right, let's play now Millo and the Magic Box, and you can ask me a question. But before that, let's play the music one more time. Let's do it.
Okay.
But before you ask the question, let's say you are sleeping one day, wake up in the morning, and suddenly somebody's calling you to do a duet, or to open their concert, or to do a project with them. I think it's gonna be easy for you. So tell me which person that would be. You'd love that to be.
Oh, do you know what? Because it started me off, probably Post Malone. Because if it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't be making music, or I might have eventually. But if it wasn't for that moment where I watched him live, then So if it was him, that would be my only answer. Probably, there's a lot of artists I love, but he's my idol. So yeah, 100%.
He might be watching the interview right now. You never know. He may be watching this interview, and you're gonna get to him somehow.
Posty, you know where I am. Hit me up.
Amazing. Okay, you can ask me a question now.
Right. Okay, so I had a little bit of thought with this. It's quite a simple one, but what is your favorite meal? Like, what's your favorite dish?
Oh my God. As I mentioned before, I'm here on holidays in Brazil, and I've been eating a lot of Brazilian food. You have no idea. I've been, enjoying my roots, where I come from, and it's so great to be here and, to eat. I've been put a lot of weight as well, I must say.
You always do on holiday, though. There's nothing wrong with that.
When I come back to England, I need to put myself back, in my routine again, because I can feel things are going differently. Let's put it this way. However, there is a dish, a Spanish dish called paella. I don't know if you heard.
Of course, yeah.
I love paella. It's a dish that I could eat every single day, and I wouldn't get sick of it. Yeah, paella. Paella you can have with seafood or with meat, but I like when it's both mixed, when it's with meat and seafood as well. So paella for sure would be a dish that I could eat for the rest of my life. Yeah.
It's a versatile dish as well. So like you said, you can do it with fish, you can do it with fish, you can do it with meat. Yeah, that's a good answer. I like that.
I love it.
Yeah.
Millo, did you enjoy the interview?
Yes, it's amazing actually. I did. I really enjoyed that. Thank you for having me. That was brilliant.
Thanks so much. Thanks for taking the time. Thanks for being so sweet as well.
You're welcome.
Since I approached you on TikTok, I think social media, you've been very, very supportive, sending kind words. So thank you. Thanks for taking the time. I think it's great when we can connect with people, and I think we just made memories right now. I can't wait one day to look at you and go like, he was on my show. I remember that.
Yeah, you never know. You never know. I like that.
I got goosebumps now. Look, saying that. My God. Beautiful.
Oh, that's great.
Before you go, if you can share a positive message or anything that you live by.
So, like I said, pretty much throughout the podcast. Would you say the podcast? As I've said throughout, just be yourself. Life is too short to sort of care what people think of you. My ethos as a musician is always do what you want to do in life. Forget what people think of you. Life's too short. Like I said, it's too short. Go and enjoy yourself. Do whatever makes you happy. Aim for the stars,
Amazing. Very good.
Simple as that, but,
Thank you so much. Thank you, Millo. Regards to your family, to your girlfriends, and you keep in touch, okay? It was a pleasure having you on the show, okay?
Thank you for having me as well. It's been a pleasure, mate.
The pleasure's all mine. Take care. Bye-bye.
Cheers, mate. See you later. Bye.
Bye.
So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why you'd like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye bye, see you next time.